All right, guys, here we go. Next to the match lessons from Battle for the South. This one is on a really good example of what not to do. So this stage here, you shot kind of a plate rack way in the back there between those two cars offhand. Shot some paper here, shot some paper here, and you came around and you shot one low and two high paper in all three of these ports, and then you ran to the last position, shot a like 60-yard plate in the back, shot some paper, and then did a gun transition to your pistol. So what I want to talk about is the good and the bad here. So the good things that happened. You can see all of my movement here happened. I just left my gun in my shoulder, so I didn't have to mount and unmount the gun a whole bunch of times, right? So when I came through here, I just stepped left and I left it in my shoulder. You know, I dropped it down out of my line of sight, but I left it in my shoulder, so as soon as I was up on target, I could shoot. I made sure I was far enough back, so when I swung around these barrels right here, I didn't have to unmount it and suck it under my shoulder. I could just roll around and start shooting. Where I messed up is I got sucked into all of these little, you can call them ports or windows or whatever you want in the hallway here. So ideally, I should have stayed on the far left side of this hallway, and you'll see why in a second. So you can see over the top of him, over the top of the RO, there's a dump barrel right in the middle of this little hallway here. And I ended up right next to the dump barrel, which is not where I wanted to be. I wanted to be behind it for several reasons. I don't want to be in front of it because then I'm crunched up against those walls and I'll have to do something weird with my gun to get around the wall. I want to be able to leave it up like it is right here and just transition to the next target. But you can see I end up next to this barrel, so I have to kind of like step back. So I left my gun mounted, but I brought my face off the gun. Then when I made it around the barrel, I remounted the gun. And as I was shooting this position, I should have been going kind of 45 degrees left to the last position back here. But what I ended up doing, which happens a lot, is I was shooting the targets and I just closed on the targets. And then I ended up flat-footed because I couldn't go anywhere because I had this barrel here. And then I had to unmount the gun, come around this barrel, and shoot the back position. So what I should have done is basically gotten to about there and just stayed with my back against the wall as I moved left. That would have allowed me to shoot all of this stuff on the move instead of having to stop, and then I wouldn't have had to unmount the gun to come around this wall right here. So I'll give you another look at what not to do, and for what to do, just imagine the same thing except no stopping and about 2 seconds faster.